I've got some interesting questions for you to start her off.
Are they the ones
No.
I just published? Oh.
Oh, no, because they're personally have been in my head the entire time.
Oh.
Unless you read my fucking mind, but
I might.
it's possible. Let me look at the topics. No.
Thank you, everyone, for visiting the next episode of You Hate to See It. And yes, I said visiting because you are coming into our homes with us. You are sitting on the couch next to us as we get fucking plastered drunk, and I love it. And if you are paying to see the unedited video version, you can see some testicle fondles by Andy. I'm Adam.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Nick.
And... oh yeah, I forgot you were a thing. And
Oof.
and
Not you, Andy. Nick.
yeah, just Nick.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
And today we have our special guest, Andy from the Brew Party. He's joining us once again. He was on an episode last year. He was on the Taskmaster special. Sad day that he didn't win, but
That day no one won.
Today.
No one won. It's so sad.
Third one.
No, he didn't. No one won. It's so sad.
Judging by the fact that I still...
I haven't mailed my shit yet.
I haven't either.
I did mail it.
It's so out of my way, even though the post office is 2 blocks away. It's so out of my way to actually go mail something.
I gotta get a label. Like, what the fuck?
I haven't mailed anything since like my sophomore year of college. Like, what the fuck?
I did T-shirts for the podcast a couple months in, and I mailed them all out myself, and it was awful making that many trips to the post office. Like one time, the worker's like, "So what are you mailing?" I'm like, "T-shirts for my podcast." He goes, "Oh, is it popular?" And I go, "I don't know. I sold over 100 of them." He goes, "Oh, I had some YouTuber in here last week and didn't know if he was popular or anything." I was like, who gives a fuck? I'm just trying to mail my shit. Shut the fuck up.
You're getting paid, so you piece of garbage.
Okay, how about you do your job? Type the address in the computer and give me my receipts, sir.
How about you continue to make your like 20-something an hour for no fucking reason because you have a government job?
Yeah, I don't believe in the post office. Frauds.
We need to bring back the Pony Express, honestly.
Yeah. Nick, I think you'd be a good candidate for the Pony Express.
Honestly,
you would be a great pony.
Just tie like Nick, we should just tie a cupcake to a string on a stick and strap that stick to your head, and you could fucking go for hours.
Savage.
Well, thanks for having me back on, gentlemen. I do want to say I'm kicking myself for not thinking of a better outfit because I think I could have won if I had a better outfit. But me and Jeff, we beat Nick, and Jeff and I combined won. So
yeah, that's true. All of these things he's saying are
Jeff
true.
Jeff and I combined scored 60 points. See, the haters want to say it's fake, but it's true. But,
because yellow isn't gold.
It's not.
I think you just proved your point.
Fucking idiot.
But yeah, I'm very excited to be back on the actual podcast. I had an absolute blast the last time I was on, and then we did trivia on my podcast, which Jeff won. Which was a shit show, and then we did our Build a Party draft, which I won that poll. Not to brag, but it doesn't.
Home field advantage.
Well, you picked the fucking Soviet national anthem.
Yeah, I know. I fucked up. I should have just gone with
your first.
I would have fucking. God,
I was actually the second you said that you won it, I was going back through the songs in my head, and I remember he chose All Star, I chose Country Roads, and then it was like, what did Nick pick? Yeah, no, that adds up.
I went for the meme vote.
The whole time he's like, I'm so fucked on venue, and actually, I will give you credit. In front of your computer was a creative venue. I will give you that, but yeah, your draft sucked.
Wasn't good.
I definitely. It was Bush heavy.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
If I had gone Either Lever, Johnny Lever, or Drunken Sailor. I feel like I might have had a chance.
Shame. We'll have to do another one next time you guys come on the brew party.
We'll
If
just
you are-
keep updating them, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll do the non-coronavirus one.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah, it'd be cool. We finally get to meet in person after all of this bullshit is over, but I'll have to upgrade my equipment a little bit in order to
All
do
of our
that,
6'4" ass selves.
Hey,
except
yeah.
over
Hey,
here,
if
short
you
as
if
shit.
you ask real nicely and you promise some fondles, we have a full equipment setup that we've yet to use.
Nice. Nice. We'll do that. I
Yes.
do want to apologize to anybody that watched the live stream and may or may not have seen my testicles.
Yeah, that was a wild time for me.
through the swimsuit, but I had the best beach scene and I won that hands down.
Yeah.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, you and Colton both going strong with the
With the cross dressing.
So it
the
was
cross
funny
dressing.
because
God, when Colin showed up in a dress.
I'm
God.
like in a hurry. I'm like looking around my room, and I originally just had on like swim trunks, and I was just gonna do that, and then I looked in my girlfriend's closet, and I saw the swimsuit at the top, and I go, I gotta put it on. I gotta do it. There was no question in my mind that it was going on my body. But yeah, that
That was wild.
Taskmaster thing was fucking so fun.
But yeah, my favorite part about you hopping up in that is because I think at the time only Dirk was had turned his video off. So I could see everyone's video feeds, and I saw your ass hanging out as you tried to
yeah.
sit down, only to then when I reveal you to the public, you wave your testicles in our faces. And I was like,
You-
all right.
In terms of stream,
Are unable to convince me that Dirk was not actually naked.
True. That's true.
You cannot convince me that he was not actually buck ass naked from the waist down.
Well, he's got big dick energy.
Yeah,
That-
Dirk.
maybe
You need to have a serious talk with Dirk, because that is literally Dirk at all times. It's just
Yeah.
giant, big dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
walking around in a human being.
there was no reason that Dirk didn't win that, to be honest. Like,
His-
He only beat me by 1 point, like 1 or 2 points.
yeah, it was real close.
his I don't like to vibe check anyone, but his vibe is actually terrifying.
Well, don't vibe check people who have stronger
Are
vibes
you
than
vibe checking right now? Are you really vibe
I would
shaming?
I would never vibe shame.
you. Nick's,
Because
taking,
I'm shamed for my vibe.
Nick's taking his tiny hermit crab shelled vibe, and he's vibe checking a goddamn full-on dragon.
According to these two fools, apparently acknowledging a vibe is in fact vibe checking the vibe.
Yes, because now
I
I
can't
have to
deny
now
it.
think about my vibe. And before I was just vibing unaware. And now that you bring it up, now I have to contemplate my vibe.
I feel like it's your fault for not being aware of your own vibe. I
You
feel like
No, you
I will
should
vibe
never
check
be.
that.
You should never be aware of your own vibe.
I
Or
beg to
else
differ.
it-
I think you should.
If you are aware of your vibe, you are no longer vibing. You are now just an asshole.
He's just now.
Well, no, he has to. He has to rank up 3 times, but
You have to be promoted 3 times. to
remote.
become an
I
asshole.
was thinking. I couldn't remember.
So,
That
Andy, real quick, for we've grown a little bit since the last time you've been on here. How about for our past listeners and our new ones? How about you tell us what your podcast is all about?
Beautiful. So yeah, it's like you guys describe it pretty perfectly. It's almost exactly like this podcast, except it's about sports. So I'm the Brew Party podcast. I enjoy Busch Light or any cold beverage. You don't have to drink Busch Light. You grab a cold beverage and join us. So it's
Unlike
pretty much,
Nick, who will vibe check the fuck out of you if you drink any beer
Yeah.
that's not Bush,
yeah,
apparently.
it'll just tell me that
I'm
beer's
drinking
water
Blue Moon.
or whatever. Blue Moon is a good beer. I'll give you that. But so it's not all about beer, but technically we're a sports podcast. We interview all different types of people. So different athletes. We've talked to other podcasters like you guys. We've talked to bloggers. We've talked to my friends, people from all over. So like Olympic gold medalist Ryan Held, he actually swam with Michael Phelps in the 2016 Rio Olympics. That was one of my favorite interviews I was able to do. We went to the same grade school for kindergarten and first grade and didn't realize it until like we connected, which was really cool that he's from my hometown and is a gold medalist. I've talked to Alex Menard. He appeared on Naked and Afraid on Discovery, and then Naked and Afraid with Sharks during Shark Week for kind of like an all-star.
Oh yes, the Naked and Afraid, but now with aggressive animals.
With sharks. Yeah. So if you thought he was crazy the first time,
Huh.
even crazier. That was one of my favorite interviews. My buddy Nick, who is my other friend Nick. He's
No, you only have one friend, Nick.
yeah. Nick's. This one is not my friend.
This is just a fellow podcaster.
Yeah, he's an acquaintance. But my friend Nick, he goes by Bizzady. He's a rapper. He has over 500,000 streams on Spotify. He just released a couple new singles. He was probably my most popular episode, actually. And then I just interviewed Jermaine Roebuck. He's a fellow Champaign athlete. He went to my high school. In high school, he averaged 2 points. He plays basketball. He averaged 2 points a game per high school. He worked his way up through the junior college and then NAI ranks. Now he's on his second professional contract, about to go play basketball in Portugal. So he went from averaging 2 points as a senior in high school to 20 points and 9 rebounds. So he's just a really incredible story about keeping your head down and working hard. Awesome new episode.
Did he maybe randomly grow 9 inches during that time?
He grew and he started actually taking basketball seriously. So I think
I was gonna say, did he maybe become a Scottie Pippen who was like 5'10" like throughout high school, and then goes to college and becomes 6'9" or some bullshit?
I think he was like 6'1", 6'2" in high school, and he's 6'5", 6'6" now, and he's just only added muscle and gotten better, and he started working out with pros, and he was one of the best players at the NAI level, which was awesome. I've also, I've talked to a couple University of Illinois athletes, because that's where I'm from, down in Champaign. So Michael Finke played basketball at University of Illinois, and then Grand Canyon University in Arizona. Also,
you don't have to rub it in that you didn't go to Western. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a fun fact. I have had 5 Western Illinois Leathernecks on the podcast. You 3. My buddy Grant, my buddy Grant Baker, that is a grad assistant for the basketball team, and then actually Ryan Smith. He goes by Smitty 2447 or Smitty 2447.
Yeah, I think I listened to that one.
Twitch streamer. He works for the Las Vegas Review Journal. He's like really into all of the media stuff. He worked for a TV station for years. Now he works for a newspaper. He does a podcast called Land Parties with my other friend Lucas Egan, who I've also had on the podcast, that all about video gaming and stuff like that. So mainly my basis is sports for sure, but I try to encompass a bunch of different things and get new topics. I also talk about being a dad. My son is about to be 10 months old. So by the time this releases, my son will be 10 months old. So that's been an absolutely wild ride, something I didn't see myself getting into this early in my life, but can't be more thankful for it. It's been this crazy year. It's one of the best. It's definitely the best thing that has happened to me. But yeah, man, it's just, we try to have a good time. We give gambling picks every week with my buddy Ryan Maloney. So we finished out.
Who I hear is winning.
Well, yeah, we are winning. So I finished out 2020 with my last week. I went 7-1, 5-0 in the NFL. So we are plus 35 units for all of you gamblers there. So our total record was 194, 146, and 5. So we give out 8 picks each every weekend. That ranges from college football, NFL, NBA, NCAA, pretty much any sport. We will give out picks and hopefully win. We're not guaranteeing winners every time. We've definitely had our ups and downs there. But yeah, gambling picks, beer, sports, drinking, just having a good time.
I'm excited for hockey to be back.
Absolutely. When hockey is back.
Isn't that next week that comes back?
Damn near it's back. We'll have to have Adam back on for a little hockey talk preview.
Yeah, I was like, I think the Hawks' first game is the 15th.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully.
So that will have just happened.
Hopefully they don't suck this year.
We got Shaw back. We got Andrew Shaw. And we have the rapist, Patrick Kane. And then we have...
Allegedly.
AKA the Steelers fans, every time they talk about their quarterback, ever since he was drafted, pretty much.
And then we have Taves. And then after that, we don't have much else.
Isn't even going to be there.
Right?
Oh, he's not?
He has an undisclosed illness. He's been feeling weird for this quarantine. He's not cleared to play. No timetable for return.
I will say we have a what's his name? Kublik, something like that. He's got he fucking impressed me in the playoffs last
Yeah.
last year. Like,
I mean, hey, they were a
that happened,
playoff
like
team
3
last year.
months ago.
Yeah, like I don't know what that was, but he impressed the hell out of me. And then right now I'm really excited to see what's his name? Strom?
Strome. They just
Strome?
re-signed. Yeah, Dylan Strome. They just
I'm-
re-signed him to an extension.
I'm excited
guy.
for him.
I mean, they're one of the youngest teams in the league, so that's just kind of a build.
Well, yeah, we had a lot of older guys who had been with the team for a long time, and now we're like the past year and a half they've been like, all right, like let's drop these old fucks that we pay $10 million to have fucking play, and we're dog shit. Like,
Yeah,
I forget that hockey doesn't pay people the stupidly ridiculously large amounts that every other sport does.
One's kind of like
Football, hey, our offensive linemen make like fucking $7 million a year.
They're worth it.
Yeah.
Come on, you know, Jeff, you're a football player.
Well, yeah, they're fucking worth it. That's how you can pay your goddamn quarterbacks $500 million over the next 10 years.
Yeah, I like hockey. You're a fucking all-star if you get between 10 and 15 million a season. And like usually once you hit like 11 and a half, they really try to not go any higher than that.
I'm not gonna lie, I think the $500 million on Patrick Mahomes is a little too high. I think that's a ridiculous amount. Same with
stake
Mookie
in
Betts.
the team, dude.
Well, same, but like Mookie Betts, whatever the fuck his name is.
He's really fucking good. They're
Same,
both really fucking good, man.
But where's the limit on what we pay fucking people that are good at sports?
If the
Like,
team's willing to pay him, man, I get it. It's a lot of fucking money. It's ridiculous.
Does football have a cap?
Football has a cap.
Yeah,
but
every sport.
Baseball doesn't. Baseball
Do
doesn't.
they not?
And
Shit.
Baseball doesn't have a cap, and the Dodgers will throw money at anybody.
Hold on, wait. Is that why the fucking Pittsburgh Pirates fucking suck? They don't understand that there's not a cap. They're just like, we will spend $40 million a year on people, and we will win.
Yeah,
they don't.
Absolutely. The Pirates roster is dog shit. They don't have anybody. They don't pay anybody. They just traded Josh Bell to the Nationals this offseason, probably their best player, so that's even less money. The Rays were just in the World Series. They traded they traded their best pitcher, Blake Snell. So now the Rays' total salary is they're paying their roster less than $60 million.
Well, that was a huge thing also with them in the first place. Like, even with Snell, they were still paying less than most people.
Well, that's the thing that baseball is really getting into is they're way more analytics driven. They're going for younger guys that they don't have to pay and just looking at the pure numbers. And a lot of guys that have been veterans in the league are going to be missing out and not making as much money. It really sucks. But I don't mind the Mookie Betts contract. He's now a two-time World Series champion, arguably.
I mean, yeah, but isn't he still like I don't really follow baseball as much as I used to like 5 years ago. Isn't he still like young as fuck? Isn't he like in his 20s, like mid-20s, if that?
Yeah, he's probably late 20s. And then the Patrick Mahomes thing is he got that money because they're coming off a Super Bowl win and he's coming off two like insane seasons, you know.
Oh,
and
also it's Andy Reid, who, if anyone knows Andy Reid, he did the same shit with Donovan McNabb.
Right. But that's like you could see that coming, like with all the buzz and the way the media dick rides.
I mean, you
Patty
also
Mahomes, but
you also can't deny that Patty Mahomes isn't like a once in a lifetime talent. Like he's fucking
that's why
ridiculous.
I get it. It's ridiculous. I think obviously $500 million that's just you're good forever. Like nobody in his family has to like fucking work again. But if you really want to get pissed off, go look at the NBA contracts that these.
Well, that's what I was about to get into.
Yeah,
that's what I was about to get into.
Nobodies. I mean, obviously they're not nobodies if they're in the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that, but they're guys that are not superstars, not playing significant roles, making like $80 million fucking dollars, dude. It's ridiculous. The NBA is the worst one about that. They do have a salary cap.
Well, yeah, I was actually going to bring up. Do you think the luxury tax is actually going to make the NBA worth watching again? Not like there's one team that's just going to fucking win the NBA finals for like 4 years in a row and then maybe switch it up.
Well, I mean, you look at the way the NBA is structured right now. Like you go in the NBA season. I actually did a guest appearance on PCN Final Score with Craig James, and we talked a lot about this. Go check that out on YouTube now on PCN Final Score's YouTube page. But yeah, it's like you go in the NBA season kind of already knowing like what 5 to 10 teams really have a legitimate shot, right? You talk about the Lakers, they have the 2 superstars there. And then Golden State, they're down this year, but like their run that they went on.
They fucking have Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. Like,
right. Well, Clay's not even playing. Clay's out for the year. He's hurt.
But like still, like Steph Curry. And then I think you have
the East, it's big now that Giannis Antetokounmpo re-signed with Milwaukee because that's going back to a small market team, homegrown, actually gives not a big boy, you would say, a chance. But I don't know, man. I hope so. I hope it leans back toward I hate to use the term super teams because I feel like that term can be so vague because there's so many good players in the NBA. But
that's the weird thing about basketball for me is like one player can like completely change your fucking team dynamic. Like you can just immediately become a winning team by having a dude who scores on average like 28 to 32 points per game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it's becoming. These guys that are superstars are realizing it's like, yeah, I can change the game, but when it comes to the playoffs, I have to have a number 2. So then you talk about the Clippers. They got Kawhi Leonard and they just paid Paul George like $182 million. I
mean, talk about
Rudy Gobert on the Jazz, who, albeit is a great defensive player, one of the best defensive centers in the league. He's averaging like 11-4, 11-5 a game, maybe more rebounds than that. And maybe I'm shortchanging him here. He just signed an extension for $200 million.
Right.
And if you look at the Jazz, who else are they going to get really as a big? So it makes sense, but it's just like the NBA contracts are the ones that really make you go, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. I mean, if we want to end this quickly, I mean, really talk about that. I mean, talk about the fucking Nets. Get Irving and Durant, and you just become a fucking superstar team immediately.
And the Nets were in talks to trade for James Harden all offseason too. So it's just like pick your poison. It didn't end up happening. But the NBA is like the epitome of ring chasing that I've ever heard of. Like, you want to win a ring, go somewhere where there's at least 2 superstars, and you guys will just are guaranteed a fucking ring. Well, that's why I love Jimmy Butler. Former Bull, obviously. Look what he did in Miami last year in the bubble.
Yeah.
He took that team. Nobody thought they would even win their first round matchup all the way to the NBA Finals. Goran Dragic played incredible. Bam Adebayo really took a step forward, proving he's going to be a superstar. But Jimmy was their go-to guy. Jimmy is an awesome player, but would you consider Jimmy Butler a top 5, top 10 guy in the NBA? Probably not. It speaks to just how hard he worked and how, like, I guess he really is a superstar, if he took them that far. But I think Miami is another team that you might see pick up another one of those big name guys coming up here pretty soon.
Oh, fuck yeah. Well, it's Miami also. I mean, like,
they definitely have the market. Party down in South Beach?
Not even that. It's just, I mean, they have the market for it anyway. So,
So
I have a good question for you. Fuck you, Adam, with your subject change. So me you already know, I'm a big Ohio State fan. And Ohio State this year is in the wonderful fucking you do that first, though. This is more important. Ohio State is in the national championship for the college football.
Yes, sir.
And they played 6 regular season games while Clemson played 12.
Right.
And Clemson won all of their regular season games.
No, they did not. They lost to Notre Dame.
Shit, yeah, you're right. That's why Notre Dame was ranked higher than them. Yes, you're right. Ignore my stupid facts. But Clemson played all their games, correct?
Yeah, and then Ohio State beat the shit out of them. That was the whole argument.
Justin Fields had a fucking heyday. I didn't get to watch the actual game. I watched the highlights the next day. Justin Fields was just bombing shit downfield, and people were just open for no reason.
Yeah, it was so you take a step back. We'll talk about the Big Ten championship game. I'll make this really brief. They struggle with Northwestern, who credit Northwestern. They have a very good defense. Pat Fitzgerald is a very good coach. But also, the Buckeyes were missing, I think, 10 to 12 players that day due to COVID, including Chris Olave, your number one receiver. Then you move on to the college football playoff. I actually had picked Clemson. I thought they would win. I didn't.
Well, I mean, they have the most winning quarterback in all of college football history under Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
34-1, right?
He was 34-1 coming into that game.
34-2.
Justin Fields has had a great year, but like you said, it's been 6 games. It's a small sample size. Granted, they've pretty much beat the shit out of everybody but Indiana. They only beat Indiana by 1 score, and then Northwestern they struggled with. But if Ohio State could have won by 3 scores, they were within like the 10-yard line with less than a minute to go, and Northwestern just didn't call any timeouts. They easily could have got another touchdown. So I'm not surprised Ohio State won. I think the thing for me was how bad they kicked the shit out of Clemson. I know a big theme of the broadcast was they were saying since the loss last year, Clemson, they beat Ohio State 29-23 in the semifinals last year. Fields throws that pick. They had that score, I guess, in the weight room or in the facility at Ohio State, used that as a motivator. And then obviously Dabo Swinney, why the fuck would you put that in your coaches poll? He put Ohio State at number 11 in his coaches poll. They had that up in the locker room and they were wanting to beat the shit out of Clemson. And so I think a really big momentum switch in that semifinal game, though. Fields scrambles, he's running, it's 3rd down. He spins and he gets fucking lit up by James Skalski.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think the big moment, is him getting ejected for targeting.
As a football, did you think he should have been kicked out? Because I don't.
I don't think he should have got kicked out, but I think he fell under the targeting rule.
Yeah, I think it's the rule. But if you go back and watch the play, Fields spun into that hit.
Yeah.
So if Skalski would have stayed straight up, it would have been a helmet-to-helmet hit. I don't know. And Skalski came out and tweeted, he goes, I appreciate all the support and everybody's opinions on this, but bottom line is I got to keep my head up and not lower my head.
Well, he also wears a fucking neck brace, which immediately makes me think that he's just one of the hardest fucking hitters in the fucking game, especially if he plays for Clemson. Clemson's defense has always been known for being fucking brutal.
2nd straight year that Skalski's gotten kicked out of the game versus Ohio State. I'm not saying that's why Clemson lost. Huge momentum shift, though.
I was going to say, I don't think it's why they lost, but that definitely, like, when I'm watching the highlights, that was one of the huge highlights, was him getting ejected. And I was like, no, it makes sense.
You're talking about Justin Fields, though. He threw 6 touchdowns. He had over 300 yards. I believe he had more touchdowns than incompletions.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely insane. And he's been great all year. His completion percentage has been like 73%. He's definitely going to the draft. I hate to say that, but he's going to be a top 5 pick.
100%. Well, I want to put it in perspective for my two co-hosts here who have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. So Trevor Lawrence, is he a junior right now? He can go back for his senior year, right?
He could technically go back, but he's going to be the number 1 pick.
Yeah, he will be the number 1 pick. So Trevor Lawrence is the quarterback for Clemson. He is overall what a lot of people have claimed as the best quarterback to ever walk into the college football scene. He is 34-1. He has lost 1 game. His freshman year, he beat Nick Saban like 42 to like 20 something.
They put the
Nick Saban is the head coach of Alabama. Alabama has been a powerhouse since like the mid 2000s, just beating the fuck out of people. And everyone says, oh, like they're just an overloading, like they're recruiting wrong, something. He literally walked in, just beat the fuck out of them week 1.
Yeah. He's been very impressive. As a freshman, he won a national championship. Not a lot of people can say that. And then if you're not a football fan, so he's like, and you're like a casual football fan, he's like the next Peyton Manning is what people are calling him. He's 6'4", he's 6'5", can throw the ball, but he's not just he's definitely more athletic than Peyton Manning was because he can actually run if he needs to get out of the pocket.
He's like Peyton Manning if Peyton Manning was Patrick Mahomes when he walked into the fucking scene.
Right. I don't know. I don't know if he's as good as Patrick Mahomes because I really think Patrick Mahomes is on a whole nother level. But it'll be very interesting to see what Trevor Lawrence is able to do. And that was the whole argument this whole football season is, okay, the Jets were projected to get the number 1 pick like all year. and the Jets are so bad, such a dumpster fire of a franchise. People were saying that Trevor Lawrence should just go back to Clemson.
Yeah,
for a year.
you should just skip out on the
Now
draft.
now the Jaguars have the number 1 pick, so it's pretty much confirmed that he's going, and he really doesn't have anything else to prove at the college level. He's not going to ever win a Heisman Trophy, which is insane to think that he's one of the best college football players ever. Doesn't win a Heisman.
You got to throw like fucking 5,000 yards a fucking season to do that.
Well, actually, the Heisman Trophy and winner was just announced. It was Devonta Smith from Alabama, receiver. This is the first time since Desmond Howard won it in 1991 that it hasn't been a quarterback.
Besides Reggie Bush.
Right? No, that's I lied to you. The first time a receiver has won it since 1991, so that's historic. But Trevor Lawrence was a Heisman finalist this year, but he's going to make a lot of money in the National Football League. We were talking about Patrick Mahomes' $500 million contract. Wouldn't be surprised if Trevor Lawrence ends up getting one of those. Remains to be seen how well he'll do in the NFL. Obviously, that's all about the situation he's put in Jacksonville. We know how much of a dumpster fire the Jaguars kind of are. But roll birds.
Dude, they got Minshew. Why the fuck they fucking drafting fucking Lawrence? No one fucking cares about Lawrence if you got Minshew.
Well,
but basically to get through this.
Is he the crazy?
He's the crazy redneck looking motherfucker. He has like a handlebar mustache. He wears jorts, like everything.
He is like the Jaguars franchise leader in yards, touchdowns.
Yeah.
Through his first X amount of starts. Like, he hasn't been a bad quarterback for them.
He's my hero.
I love Gardner
should
Minshew.
be.
Have you ever heard the story of how he tried to get a medical red shirt?
Yes.
He was at East Carolina, and he knew he wasn't going to play, and he wanted to get pretty much a free extra year of eligibility. So he tried to break his own hand. So he drank like a whole bottle of Jack and just was like beating the shit out of his own hand with a hammer to try to break it in order to get a medical red shirt, and it didn't work. Yeah.
So for everyone who doesn't care about sports for our podcast, aka what we just filled, I think 54 minutes of our podcast,
like a lot of time.
Yeah. I just really the only question I wanted to ask you was, do you think Ohio State should be in the national championship?
Yeah, if they beat Clemson, then why the fuck not?
Do you think they should have been in the playoffs then?
Yes, I think they are one of the best 4 teams in the league. No matter, they played 6 games. Yeah, that sucks. But the two of the 3 games that got canceled were not by them. It was not by their fault. I think it's more of an indictment on the Big Ten for not letting these teams like schedule games.
Yeah.
That got canceled. So I mean, obviously, like that's what everyone wants to say because they didn't deserve to be there. But whether or not they did, they fucking beat the shit out of Clemson. I don't know if they're going to beat Alabama. I think that's going to be a lot tougher. But
well, fuck Nick Saban, fuck Alabama. But let's go on to what the fuck ever we wanted to go into with this podcast.
So we're gonna rewind here a bit because we didn't do this at the beginning. So Andy, you said that you are drinking something else to not be made fun of from us today. So I was wondering. So I'm drinking a big bottle of pink Moscato.
Buddy, we're like 45 minutes into this episode. This is so late.
Yeah, I tried doing this about every 10 minutes.
We just got into it. Yeah, Jeff, you and I just got going.
But yeah, so what's everyone else drinking?
Wouldn't you like to know? Well, I finished while talking to Andy there. I finished the glass that I poured of my Slipknot number 9 batch bourbon or whiskey. And now I'm drinking some real nice scotch, and I'm drinking a Rise to the Angels IPA from 18th Street Brewery as my beer.
I got Blue Moon Belgian White, and I hate Blue Moon, but it's the only beer I had in my house.
Why do you hate Blue Moon?
Blue Moon's good. It's just it's so hard to drink a lot of Blue Moon.
I can only drink one Blue Moon before I'm like, okay, I'm done with Blue Moon.
This is my 4th, and it's fucking weighing on me.
It depends on the glass of Blue Moon they pour me.
So you've probably seen me take a couple pulls. I got my Jim Beam Red Stag here.
I don't think I've ever had Red Stag.
It basically tastes like fucking cherry cough medicine. I don't know if I recommend it, but it's
that doesn't sound good. Because as a bourbon drinker, Jim Beam kind of sucks.
Yeah, and then I got my classic Busch Light that I've
known to have. But this isn't a bottle can this time.
Yeah,
with the resealable top in case you have to not finish it that night and start the next morning.
Yeah, best part, it's a fucking corn on the cob, dude. Support the farmers, man. And
When
Hell
you
yeah.
when you
You
pulled
are
that
a
out,
you are a true Illinoisan. Oh,
True.
they call it the bushel. It's 20,
oh god.
oh, I hate that.
it's 24 16-ounce cans, and it's a Busch Light
Wasn't
bushel.
there an
I
original
hate
bushel
that.
that was like 56 cans?
There's
or
a
something
big
ridiculous?
ass
Yeah.
fucking bushel.
It was
dude.
it was like a octagon or hexagon or some shit.
Yes.
Didn't
The
Pabst
bushel?
try and do that shit?
So,
How about you shut the fuck up
they
about
might have.
PBR?
So on PBR
What?
sucks.
He
PBR
does.
fucking
Awful.
sucks.
I
Don't
agree.
you ever bring up PBR in this fucking goddamn household again?
Technically, he's not in your household.
Which is
So-
fine, but don't bring it up in this household again.
On Sunday, obviously, I would talk about how Sundays are big for me. I had the Bears-Packers game this last Sunday. Didn't go well for the Bears. We're still in the playoffs, baby. I'm not apologizing for that.
Somehow. Granted,
Eight-
you're against the
still
Saints,
there.
so good luck.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what,
fuck.
Jeff? It's the Nickelodeon game. They're playing it on Nickelodeon, and they're going to add in a
Wait,
bunch
are
of
they
graphics.
really?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a regular
What?
broadcast. Listen, there's a regular broadcast on CBS with their regular broadcast team, and now the NFL, they're trying to market to a younger audience. So the Bears and Saints game is also going to be broadcast on Nickelodeon. They're going to add in slime. The fucking field goal post is going to be SpongeBob, and they're going to add in like all this different shit.
The amount of editing
you know,
shit that they
I'm
do in
watching
fucking
that.
NFL is
Yeah, why
I
not,
hate
dude?
that.
Like,
I'm watching
I'm
that.
definitely gonna fucking put it on for at least a little bit to see what it's like. But you talk,
Fucking have them put it on Crunchyroll too.
yeah. So that's gonna be incredible. It shows you how much respect they have for the Bears, putting them in the Nickelodeon game.
That's awful. I hate that so much.
I'm gonna call it the Nickelodeon Bowl.
Yeah, so I'm getting ready for the Bears game. My buddy Trey comes over on Sunday, and I go out to my case, and I see I only have 3 beers left, and my girlfriend had just left to go out and grab something, and I called her, and go, "Hey, can you give me some beer?" 'Cause, like, I wasn't trying to leave. Like, I had my buddy over. It had just snowed that night, so it was already shitty out. And she's like, "Yeah," and like Trey in the background's like, "Tell her to get a bushel. Tell her to get a bushel." And I go,
Hey,
Can you-
do it.
can you get a bushel? And she goes, "What the fuck is a bushel?" And I go, the big 16-ounce Busch Light cans. And long story short, yeah, I got my bushel. So that's what I'm drinking tonight.
Wild.
So yeah. So we did this question on our last episode of the podcast where it was just us, but we wanted to know what your take would be. What sport should add alcohol? So we were saying, so like one of my suggestion was, because there's beer league hockey. So I was saying, like, professionally, like, you have to continuously stay stay drunk. So after every shift, you do a breathalyzer, and if you need to stay a consistent level of drunk the whole game. And then another one that was suggested, I think it was by Jeff, was basketball.
I said my original one was tennis.
Yeah, there was
Drunk tennis would. No one really watches tennis, but drunk tennis would be very entertaining.
and we were saying with drunk basketball, someone every few minutes just runs and readjusts the heights of the nets at random. So as they're drunk and drinking, which they do the same thing as like with hockey, where you have to stay a consistent level of drunk the whole time. Now all of a sudden the net is just changing height.
So I don't.
Go ahead, Nick.
Sorry, I don't think I ever gave my
don't
answer.
apologize, Nick. This is your show.
Thank you.
Sadly.
Apparently.
So anyway,
all
like I
got
was
here.
saying, guys.
I don't think I ever get my answer last time, but I'd have to say the biathlon would definitely be
No,
my
Nick, you
choice.
said
one.
NASCAR. Nick, you said
That's
NASCAR.
also a good one. That was my
NASCAR-
first thought. was
NASCAR or the
I thought it'd be
biathlon?
problematic.
So we said
Hold on,
NASCAR, and then we had to.
Everyone, shut the fuck up. We do not condone drunk driving on this podcast.
Yeah.
That was
So-
what I was gonna say.
So we said NASCAR. We said our thing about drunk driving, and then I suggested, well, if it's like bumper cars, so it's still NASCAR, but you put the bumper padding all around the cars.
How about I one up you? F1 series racing.
You want the whole field to die then?
How about we don't talk about it?
Well, I'm officially changing
How
my
about we
answer.
all? How about we all tune in for the quote unquote death race, and then we come back next year?
What about gymnastics?
My God.
Dude, that's not even what I ever thought about. My thing about tennis was drunken people, like they had to have, like they all talked about like having to have a specific amount of like level of drunkenness to go onto the ice rink or whatever. Mine was for tennis was you go out for your warm-ups. Before you go out for your warm-ups, you shotgun a beer. When you're done with your warm-ups, you shotgun a beer. Next person goes out, while they're doing it, you have to be drinking. So it's like a continuous, everyone's drunk. By the time you get out to whatever the fuck they call that piece of shit thing that they play tennis on. Court. That's what they call it. That's it. Whenever they walk out on the court, they're both just buzzed. And it's not that it's like super different, but it's enough that like the best players, like there's just one thing during it, one volley that they're just too drunk and just miss it. It's just like I'm a fucking idiot.
Watch some mediocre fucking piece of shit player all of a sudden is like the best player because they can play drunk.
We all denied curling because everyone's drunk during curling.
Or like you can't say like bowling or anything either of that because you could easily just fucking get hammered.
Yeah,
during
you're
that,
drunk while bowling anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Or like
and curling is just cold bowling. Like
that is the best description for curling I've ever heard.
Curling is cold bowling
with teammates that clean the lane as you're bowling.
Well, yeah, you gotta make sure like they're essentially just waxing in front of the bowling ball the whole time.
I'm about to tweet that. That's hilarious.
So
social media person, get on that.
Let me paint you a picture. So, a group of skiers line up at the top of a mountain. They pull out a handle of Fireball, fucking chug it, full send. Once they're done chugging, then they go. They then ski a half an hour to the first stop. We gotta let the alcohol hit them. Then from their shoulders, they pull out a 22 caliber rifle and then proceed to shoot targets. Then they do it again.
Your half an hour ride was too long for me.
I had one more sport, but Nick started talking. I forgot what it was.
That's
may or may not be the alcohol.
I hope you're talking was the skeet shooting because I'd also watched that.
No, it was. Keep talking. Fill time. I'm trying to think.
Buddy, we have unedited. They can just watch us sit here staring at the screen for however long.
I can make you look like you thought like came up with this right on the spot, but regardless, someone's going to know that you did not. So is it winter or summer?
Is it Olympics or not?
It's
is it actually a sport or is it a hobby?
It's a sport. It's a fucking sport, I think.
Is it golf? Because they're already drunk.
That doesn't count. They're already fucking hammered.
Especially Tiger's son. Tiger's son is overly good at golf for no reason.
He is better at golf than I could
ever Tiger is.
Really? I didn't know that.
Tiger's son.
Look up the videos, Nick, if you have it. It's like he's identical to Tiger. Their swings are the same. He's 11 years old.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's 11, and he is literally better than Tiger is at golf. He beat Tiger on like a specific fucking course.
He's probably better than Tiger at fucking bitches. So
I mean, honestly, as long as he
I don't know, man. Tiger's pretty good at picking up an Applebee's waitress.
As long as he doesn't beat the shit out of him afterwards. I mean, technically he's winning. So
is this the kid he had with the Swedish chick?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Andy. We definitely hit the not okay spots on this podcast.
So this can be with or without alcohol. This is your preference, but which sport do you think will be invented next?
If you could invent any sport, like we haven't had a sport invented in a very long time. If you really think about it.
So I guess this one is.
I think the last one invented was basketball. So
that was going to be my answer.
That's already been done.
I know. I said it wouldn't. Okay, so I have to invent one just off the top of my head right here.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to, you don't have to say it quickly unless you want our fucking patrons to really watch you for half an hour.
While you're thinking about that, does anyone remember playing pickleball in gym class?
I do.
Pickleball. I love
Pickleball's
pickleball.
great.
Pickleball is the volleyball with kicking, right? If I'm correct.
No, it's like life-size table tennis. You got
No,
like a table.
volleyball with kicking. What the fuck?
Nick,
was that?
life-size table tennis is
okay.
tennis.
California
Cool.
kickball. You ever play California kickball?
Okay, Andy and I have the same thought process then. I wasn't the only idiot that thought kicking volleyball was the thing. So glad
Yes.
on that factor. But yes, maybe what you're saying is correct. But it was like you would do it it was like a lower net and it was two people on each side and you would like kick the ball around.
So Andy, I mean, if two dumbasses can create basketball and J.K. Rowling can create Quidditch, and then someone else takes Quidditch and makes it real life, you can invent a fucking sport right here, right now.
All
Please.
right.
Hold on. I'm betting
I
right
got it.
now.
Okay, I got
Please
it.
be Death Race. Please be Death Race.
Yeah, it's Death Race. He's right.
Yes.
So I'm gonna call it Brew Party ball.
Okay.
You must have a drink in your hand at all
Okay.
times. You can
Already for it.
You can only use one hand. So,
Please tell me it's cornhole while drinking.
well, I have cornhole like right outside. If you guys want me to get it.
Well,
set
I
up.
mean, most people don't understand that cornhole. You have to be drunk to play cornhole, and they're
No,
like,
absolutely.
"I'm so good at cornhole," and it's like, "Well, you're a fucking blackout,
All
fucking."
right, so it's
shit.
it's 4-on-4. You have 3 people attacking, and you got 1 goalie. 2 goals on each side. If you played with a circular ball, sphere, if you will.
What size is this sphere? Is it smaller than a basketball? Is it bigger than a softball? Like,
It's
what are we talking
about
about
this
here?
size, like yeah.
So
Okay,
for
well,
the people who
we-
can't
a
see
little.
that,
Yeah, you're right. This is a podcast. That was great
Yeah.
radio. It's like a softball, but like 2 times bigger.
Okay, all right.
So you got a beer in hand. You have to advance the ball up the field. When you have the ball, you can only take a total of 4 steps. After 4 steps, you have to either pass, shoot, or give up the ball. I don't know. Lose
So,
the
so
ball
what I'm hearing is ultimate frisbee, but with a ball
and beer.
and beer.
It's kind of like handball, but with beer.
I like
All right.
it.
This
I
sounds
don't
wild.
deny that I like it. I
Honestly,
like it a lot.
Andy, when you come out, when we all can see each other, let's fucking play this.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Well, we can make it up. It doesn't seem like it's too hard. You know, you can.
We'll do
Doesn't have to
a
be-
thing for our patrons at a certain level that
Oh,
if
I'm
they
down.
if we will record us making this
Dude,
game.
I'll fucking live stream it on the Brew Party, dude. What the fuck?
Perfect.
Are you
You
talking about?
live
yeah.
stream it. We'll make it for our patrons, and we'll do a fucking live stream of the shit.
We'll figure out. We'll make up some rules. So every goal, opposing team drinks. Every
Perfect.
turn. Every
But you
turn,
cannot play the game without a drink in your hand.
yeah, you
If you're
have to
empty-
have a drink.
If you're empty,
So the
you
whole
get
time
sub-
is
if
one-handed.
if you have an empty drink, you get subbed out with someone who has a full drink.
Let's do this. If you're empty, your team's shorthanded until your drink's full. Until you,
Even better, we don't have to get subs.
yes.
It's literally just 4 people. You need 8 people.
Adam,
doesn't have
I
to
want
be-
you to know, Adam, you had the perfect front yard for this.
It doesn't have to be a big. It doesn't have to be a big arena. You know, you just have.
No, that's
to have,
fine. Adam has the perfect front yard or
I do.
yard for this because none of us.
Kick off or tip off is a shotgun race.
Oh, Jeff, we're in. Our
Fucking
team's winning.
bullshit.
Andy,
I
tell me-
win.
Tell
I
me we
win.
couldn't. Tell me we couldn't make this like a beer league and just like fuck around and make money off of it. I
Let's
swear to
fucking
God,
do
like, it would be incredible. We call
Honestly, we can sadly make money off of how fast I can shotgun, and I don't.
it.
My girlfriend also does not like that, but we made money off of it, and here we are.
So, Andy, would you like to plug anything before we end?
Absolutely. So please, we'd love to have you join the party, the Brew Party podcast, hosted by me. If you liked what I said or anything, I would love to come have you join us on the Brew Party. So you can find us on Facebook at the Brew Party Podcast. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at the Brew Party. Then YouTube, you can just search the Brew Party in the search bar. If that's too many words for you, just go to www.thebrewparty.com. It has all of our social media links, all of our episode links. We release 1 to 2 episodes a week. It kind of just depends. We do live stream all of our recordings. So we live stream our interviews, and then we live stream Maloney's Moneyline, our weekly gambling segment with my buddy Ryan Maloney. So Thursdays at 6:30 is usually when we go live for Maloney's Moneyline, and then we do our interviews anywhere Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. It kind of just depends on the week. But yeah, it's sports, pop culture, comedy, just anything you could think of. We're going to try to cover it. Mainly in sports. We talk to athletes, bloggers, podcasters, YouTubers, regular people, just kind of anybody. Check me out if you want to follow my regular Twitter at ahop23. I tweet about the Bears, tweet about my podcast, tweet about Illini basketball, and just whatever I'm kind of feeling. But yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for having me. This is always a blast when we are able to get together. I know it went really long this time, so I apologize for you, Adam, in that editing process, but we'll definitely be having more collaborations here in the future. I'm glad this was the first one of 2021. I had a blast on Taskmaster, had a blast with you guys doing trivia, and then with you guys on my with Jeff and Adam on that first episode, and then obviously the first episode I was able to do with you guys. But yeah, the Brew Party podcast, find us Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Pandora, wherever you get your podcasts, we're there. Just search The Brew Party, or like I said, www.thebrewparty.com. You can get all of our links, all of our social media, all of our episodes, stuff like that.
All right, fuck yeah. Thanks, everyone, for listening to You Hate to See It. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on our socials. Just search You Hate to See It and look for Chad. If you want more great content like this, just visit our website at youh82cit.podbean.com and click on the Become a Patron button. Joining at any level will add you to our exclusive Discord server, and you also get a lot of other content. Our Taskmaster special is up for patrons. We have our test episodes up right now that we did before we started releasing shit. Also, we have unedited video podcasts, and let me tell you, this podcast is roughly 2 hours long in reality, so check that out if you like it. Special thanks to Andy from the Brew Party for coming on our podcast, and special thanks to all of you for dealing with our bullshit. In the end of everything, it's a new year, it's a new us, and fucking hell, this episode was better than the last podcast that we put out. So obviously, for this one time, I'm gonna let all of you know that you might be better than us.
Debatable.
It's debatable, but Nick?
Well, in podcasting, professionalism is required. Andy here is a professional and a gentleman.
That's a lie.
At the very least, he is more of a professional than us.
I won't dispute that.
We also won.
Yeah.
So, with that, remember, professionals have standards. We don't. It was something.
So there's a house goblin in Nick's butthole, is what I'm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Yes. Multiple if you count each bead.
As long as you're picking up what we're putting down. That's all we need.
Always.
Might have fumbled it on the way up, but we got it in the end.
What do I say about the beats?
You use it like several mirrors to get that done, or how does that work?
Well, he has to, because he can't turn his head all the way because of the chubbiness.
Starting off wild tonight.
Yeah,
and we haven't even started.
I don't think.